Okay, wow. So you sent over a really fascinating mix of articles, about AI, mental health, and then even this like groundbreaking skin research, and even some philosophical thoughts on, aging and what it means to live a fulfilling life. It's quite a lot to unpack, honestly.
Hmm.
So we're going to take a deep dive into this material, kind of try to connect the dots between all these seemingly different topics, and hopefully we'll leave you with some food for thought.
Yeah.
So one of the articles that really caught my eye was talking about this app called Manifest, and it's becoming incredibly popular with Gen Z, and it's designed to help combat loneliness
Yeah.
using AI.
Yeah, it's really interesting how it uses AI to tailor like affirmations and meditations to each individual user. It's almost like having this personalized life coach, but just like right there in your pocket.
Okay, so it's not just like generic one-size-fits-all advice.
No, not at all. The AI actually takes into account like the user's specific inputs and preferences, and then it tries to create a more um, customized and hopefully impactful experience.
That's pretty cool. I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical. Like, can an app really replace like real human connection?
Yeah, that's the big question, right?
Yeah.
While I don't think AI can like fully replace human interaction, the article does highlight, the potential for AI to provide more accessible and readily available like support. Think about it, like you have access to this tool 24/7, regardless of like your location or your circumstances. So, this could be really huge for individuals who might, face barriers to traditional therapy
Mhm.
or even, support groups.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. So it's more about like expanding access to support rather than replacing human connection altogether.
Exactly. And the article actually mentions that Manifest has already secured like $3.4 million in funding
Yeah.
and has recorded something like 18.7 million user interactions.
Wow. Those are some some serious numbers. It sounds like this app is really tapping into something.
Yeah, it really seems that way. But the article also raises concerns about potential over-reliance on AI
Yeah.
and really stresses the importance of maintaining like traditional support systems
Mm.
like therapy and, that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah. It's like anything, right? Technology can be this powerful tool, but we need to use it responsibly
Yeah.
and not let it become a crutch.
Precisely. And speaking of groundbreaking technology, another article that you shared dives into some incredible advancements in skin
Oh,
research.
yes. The one where scientists are actually growing skin with hair follicles in a lab. I mean, how is that even possible? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. Scientists at the Wellcome Sanger Institute have actually successfully cultured skin that includes hair follicles, which is a significant breakthrough. And this research is it's part of a much larger initiative called the Human Cell Atlas Project.
The Human Cell Atlas. What is that exactly?
So it's this ambitious global effort to map every single cell type in the human body. And by understanding like each cell's unique function and how they, all interact, scientists hope to, unlock this vast array of medical possibilities.
So we're talking about like cures for diseases, new ways to repair injuries, that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. The potential applications are vast. Imagine being able to grow new skin grafts for burn victims or developing targeted therapies for skin diseases. This research could also revolutionize like our approach to aging, potentially leading to treatments that could slow down or even reverse the visible signs of aging.
Okay, now that is mind-blowing. I mean, to be able to grow new skin in a lab, that could change everything.
It's certainly a game changer. And it leads us to some really interesting questions about how we perceive aging and beauty. If we have the ability to regenerate skin and maintain this youthful appearance, will our values and priorities shift? Would we become obsessed with achieving this certain level of physical perfection?
Those are big questions. And it makes you wonder what happens when we combine, these advancements in longevity with the rise of AI-powered support systems like the Manifest app. It feels like we're stepping into a whole new world. It
Yeah,
really does.
yeah. It really is a fascinating kind of intersection, right? We're potentially looking at a future where people are living longer than ever.
Yeah.
And they have access to like these really sophisticated AI tools
Mm.
that can, provide personalized support and guidance throughout those, extended years.
Yeah, but here's what I'm grappling with. Could this lead to a scenario where, people become overly reliant on technology? for their emotional well-being. Like what
Yeah.
happens to our own, inner resilience and our coping mechanisms if we're constantly just like outsourcing our emotional regulation to an app?
Yeah, that's a really important point.
Yeah.
One of the articles actually touches on this. It suggests that while AI can be a valuable tool, it's really crucial to strike that balance. Like the goal shouldn't be to replace human connection and the development of, those essential coping skills, but rather to like augment them. It's about integrating these tools in a way that empowers individuals to like navigate life's challenges.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. It's about using technology to enhance our abilities, not to become dependent on it. But what about the impact on our social dynamics? Like if we're all just plugged into our, AI companions, will we even need to interact with each other anymore? Will real life relationships become obsolete?
Well, that's a question that doesn't have like an easy answer. Some experts believe that technology could actually help to facilitate new forms of connection.
Yep.
And even like community, for example. Think about those virtual reality platforms that allow people to interact in these like immersive shared spaces.
Hmm.
These could be incredibly beneficial for individuals who are geographically isolated
Sure.
or have mobility limitations, right?
So instead of isolating us, technology could actually help us to broaden our social circles and even like create new avenues for interaction.
Precisely. And it's not just about virtual spaces. The articles also talk about the potential for community pods. These are essentially groups that are formed around shared interests
Yeah.
or life experiences, designed to combat loneliness and foster connection.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, you could have a pod for people who love to cook, or a pod for, like, new parents, or even a pod for people who are, passionate about a particular hobby.
Exactly. These pods could like provide that sense of belonging
Mhm.
and shared purpose, and they could even incorporate, AI tools to offer additional support.
Yeah.
Imagine like a pod for people who are dealing with anxiety, where the AI could facilitate like group meditations or provide like personalized coping strategies.
Hmm. That's fascinating. It really is fascinating to think about how these technologies could be integrated to create more,
Mm,
supportive and connected communities. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the economic implications of all of this. If
Yeah.
people are living longer and potentially working longer,
Yeah.
what does that mean for the job market and for younger generations?
Right. That's a critical consideration. One of the articles suggests that longer lifespans could lead to this
Right.
more multi-generational workforce,
Mm.
which, could present both challenges and opportunities, right? It could mean that, younger generations face more competition for jobs. But it could also foster, really valuable mentorship
Mm.
and knowledge transfer between the different generations.
Yeah. It's almost like we need to rethink our like traditional career paths as expectations instead of this like, linear progression from education to retirement. Maybe we need to embrace a more fluid model that allows for multiple career changes and ongoing learning throughout our lives. Yeah.
That's a really interesting point, and it really highlights the need for adaptability
Mm.
and continuous learning, right? Both for individuals and for society as a whole.
Mhm.
We need to be prepared to like adjust to the changing landscape of work
Yeah.
and to embrace new opportunities as they arise.
Right, right. It's like we're being challenged to evolve, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. To embrace lifelong learning and to find new ways to connect with each other and contribute to society.
Absolutely, and one of the most profound implications of all of this is how it forces us to reevaluate our definition of a fulfilling life,
Yeah.
in a world where people are living longer and have access to these like incredible technologies. What will we prioritize? What will truly matter?
Yeah, I guess it boils down to this: are we simply extending life, or are we enriching it? Yeah, it really feels like we've been on this incredible journey, exploring the intersection of AI, longevity, and the future of human connection.
And it's becoming clear that these advancements aren't just, changing the way we live, but they're also challenging us to really rethink what it means to be human.
Yeah, they're like, what are we striving for? Is it just about, living longer, or is it about living, better, more meaningfully?
Exactly. And one of the articles, it frames this beautifully by suggesting that we're kind of moving beyond those traditional markers of success, like wealth, status, even physical appearance. And we're starting to place a higher value on things like experiences, connections, personal growth.
So it's less about like accumulating things and more about cultivating, a rich inner life.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this shift in values is kind of reflected in those speculative futures as some of the articles explore. For example, one article talks about the emergence of these hybrid communities
Yeah.
where physical and virtual spaces are kind of seamlessly integrated.
Okay, so I'm picturing something like a neighborhood park, but it has augmented reality features. Or maybe a virtual reality platform where people can gather, like for social events or even collaborate on projects.
You're getting it. The point is that technology can be used to actually enhance our real-life interactions, not to replace them. Imagine a world where, you could attend a concert with friends who are like scattered across the globe,
Yeah.
or participate in a community meeting from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It makes me think about the potential for intergenerational connections. Like, what if older generations could share, their wisdom and experiences in these virtual spaces, and then younger generations could introduce them to new technologies and ways of thinking.
Yeah, it's an exciting possibility for sure. These hybrid communities could really help bridge that generational divide
Yeah.
and create a more inclusive and interconnected society.
And speaking of connection, I'm really intrigued by this concept of community pods that one of the articles mentioned. Like these are groups that are formed around, shared interests or life experiences,
Ah,
and they're designed to combat loneliness and foster this sense of belonging. Like
totally.
imagine a pod for people who are, passionate about sustainable living, or a pod for caregivers who need support, or even a pod for people who are simply just looking to make new friends. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Yeah.
And within these pods, AI could be used to, facilitate communication, organize events, and even provide, personalized support tailored to the specific needs of the group.
Exactly. It's about combining that power of human connection
Mhm.
with the efficiency and the personalization of AI to create this really supportive and engaging experience.
So we've gone from an app that uses AI to combat loneliness to growing skin in a lab. And we've kind of landed in this future where technology and human connection are intertwined in ways we're only beginning to imagine.
Yeah, and I think the key takeaway here is that the future isn't predetermined. It's something that we're creating, collectively with every choice we make.
Yeah. It's like we're standing at a crossroads. We can choose to let technology control us, or we can choose to use it as a tool to build a better world.
Right, a world where we live longer, healthier, more connected lives. A world where technology enhances our humanity rather than diminishing it.
So as we move into this, uncharted territory, the real question is how do we ensure that technology serves humanity and not the other way around?
That's the question we all need to be asking ourselves. And I think the answer lies in staying informed,
Yeah.
engaging in, thoughtful discussions, and making conscious choices about how we integrate technology into our lives.
Yeah. It's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
that sweet spot where we can leverage the power of technology, but without losing sight of what truly matters, right? Connection, purpose, meaning. Yeah.
Absolutely. And as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. What will your role be in shaping this future? How will you use your voice, your actions, your choices to create a world where technology and humanity can thrive together?
That's a powerful question, and one that each of us needs to answer for ourselves. Well, thanks for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.